here at the Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches. And today we have two special speakers from Dress for Success. I'm going to read a short bio for each of them, so give me a minute. I'm also admitting people, so I'm multitasking, so I apologize. So first off, we have Donna Broder. So Donna has been volunteering. It is not new to Donna. She has been volunteering in one way or another since she was 12 years old. Donna has been a volunteer for Dress for Success for 4 years. After graduating from Indiana University, Donna began her career in retail for 20 plus years. First as a store manager at a local clothing store, then a merchandise manager for Target, a district manager for a large maternity international company, and the final 7 years as a district sales manager and retail advisor for a large franchise company. In 1996, her husband Jay and Donna dropped out of the corporate world together and started their credit card processing agency, Card Solutions International. After 25 years of owning and running their own business, they are still working together in the credit card processing industry. So that is a little background about Donna. And now for Mary. So Mary brings over 25 years of business and leadership experience to the position of Executive Director for Dress for Success Palm Beaches. She held various positions in the financial sector, rising to a senior vice president level prior to leaving the corporate world to open her own business. Most recently, Mary served as executive director for the Women's Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County, where she focused on building relationships in the community and forming business partnerships to support the organization. Just prior to that, Mary served as director of student services for Kaiser University's West Palm Beach campus, where she worked directly with graduating students to help them enter the workforce, focusing on resume writing, interviewing skills, and professional dress. It was in the role that she initially connected with DFSPB, which provided business attire to these students, education rich but cash poor, as they ventured into the world of interviewing. So with that said, again, please keep yourself muted. If you would like, turn on your webcams, and Mary, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you so much. Kirby, thank you for having me. And it's so nice to see so many faces that are women that I met at the Women's Chamber or Kaiser, and some new faces. So nice to see all of you. I want to point out also with us is Heidi Matheny. She is our Director of Operations at our organization. So she's sitting in with us today too. So between Heidi and Donna, they'll keep me honest today. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the PowerPoint for discussion, but please, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box throughout the presentation to keep it more interactive. And Kirby will let me know if there's anything in the chat. All right, so as always, we hope that this works for us, right? Okay, good, Kirby? Okay. Okay, so we are Dress for Success Palm Beaches, and you may or may not be aware, but we're one of about 150 affiliates of Dress for Success worldwide. The organization is in about 28 countries at this point. So by being part of the worldwide organization, we get used to the brand and we get the benefit of some national relationships, but mostly we operate independently. So we're responsible for our own programming and our own fundraising. Our mission is to empower women to achieve economic independence, and we do that by providing a network of support, professional attire, and development tools to help them thrive and work in life. So the point I'm going to stress throughout this presentation, most people are aware of us. We have good brand recognition, and most people know about our clothing programs, but we do so much more than just the clothing. So the women, and even though this says all, most of the women that come to us are referred by other nonprofit agencies. So we have well over 70 that are registered to make referrals to us. So, but if a woman calls us directly, either Donna or Heidi or I will talk to them, and as long as their basic needs are met, we'll go ahead and accept them into our program. So we do get a lot of what we call self-referrals as well. And just to kind of elaborate on that, some of the partners that you're probably familiar with are the Lord's Place, AVDA, Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse, Family Promise. So organizations that work with women who are coming out of homelessness, general poverty or joblessness, mental or physical disabilities, domestic violence. So they're working with other organizations to work through those issues. And then when they're job ready, they're referred to us. What we give them is one full outfit for interviewing, and that includes clothing, shoes, purses, jewelry, even makeup and other accessories. When they get hired, they can come back, or even if they didn't come to us for that interview suiting, they can, and they're already working, but they find they're wearing the same clothing over and over, they can come back, they can come to us for a full week's worth of clothing. Now, there's pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. So I'm just going to talk about our normal way of operating, and then I'm going to tell you how we've adjusted, reinvented, if you will, since the pandemic. So our typical process is that once we give them that outfit, we transition them to a coach who's on site, who will help them to practice their interview, who will review their resume, or even help them develop a resume if they don't have one. But the idea, again, is just keep trying to put as many tools in their toolbox as we can to help ensure that they become hired. Now, in addition to the suiting, we have 2 separate 10-week job readiness courses. One is called Next Step for women, young women 18 to 25, and the other is Road to Success for women over 25. When we run these programs several times per year, they meet once a week for 2.5 to 3 hours, and we cover a variety of topics. We start with a DISC profile, which gives them insight into their natural gifts and strengths, and we work on resume writing and interview skills, and we do a panel of professionals from different industries to help them understand what's out there and what HR people look for in interviewing. And in the Road to Success program, we also help them to get set up on LinkedIn. So I'm going to shout out to Debbie Weens here, because Deb put together an amazing recorded training session for these women on how to set up and to optimize their LinkedIn profile. So Deb, thank you so much for that. And then we have something called Professional Women's Group, which is once they become hired, we want to keep bringing them back and keep giving them tools to grow and develop in their careers. So topics that we covered in those programs are things like getting along with others at work, discovering the leader within, understanding how to progress in your career, and topics such as that. And for all of these programs, by the way, we invite guest speakers, subject matter experts to help give these tools to our women. One thing that's not mentioned in this PowerPoint, because it was just brand new before we went virtual, was we wanted to have something in between suiting and then having to jump to 10 weeks. So we have on-site workshops that run from 2 to 4 hours on specific topics, and we call that Keys to Success. So that might be just a workshop specifically for resume writing, or specifically for interviewing, or negotiating, or conflict resolution. So that was, I think we held the program once or twice before the pandemic hit, and you'll see what we did to transition in terms of that. So once the pandemic hit, we closed for suiting. That was around March 16th or 17th. And we did reopen mid-June, but before we reopened, we were able to create a virtual career center within just a few weeks. So this is kudos to our amazing, team of volunteers. And we work with one contractor who manages our website for us. She pretty much is the person who put this together. But what we put on this career center is COVID community resources. So we get a lot of emails, like many of you do, I'm sure, with all of the resources that are available for people to help get through the pandemic. Things like, you know, for food, for assistance with utility payments or rent payments, for COVID tests, medical tests, and so on. So we do have the COVID community resources on this, but we also researched and picked what we felt were the best training videos for job readiness, and also created some of our own videos that are part of that Keys to Success that I mentioned. But the thing that we appreciate the most, and really, you know, this is a model we will continue even when we're able to reopen, is clients can go and, or women in general, I should say, this is, you know, what I want to stress to you. If you know anybody who needs our services, they're always free, and anybody can access this virtual career center, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But they can set up a one-on-one appointment with a coach, and they can set it up via phone or Zoom, and the coach then will, via this virtual meeting, again, do what we used to do in the boutique, help them with their resume, practice interviewing, and we even have some programs for basic computer skills. So I'm going to attempt to show you that real quick right now. Okay, is the virtual career center up? Okay. Yes. Yay, it's so awesome when these actually work. So this is our virtual career center, and you can see those choices that we have, the COVID-19 resources, the ability to set up virtual appointments, and the career development and job resources. It sort of looks like this. And for the virtual appointments, this is what they can do. Just go in and, you know, select the type of appointment that they'd like and set that appointment up. And this piece of it is links to the top portals for jobs in Palm Beach County. So again, we're just putting links to things that already exist, but some links to LinkedIn as well. And then we are very blessed in that we have a lot of connections in the community that will send me an email when they have a job available. So they'll just, you know, say, hey, Mary, if you want to share this with your clients. So now we put those positions, we just started doing this just this week. We're putting those positions on here as well and pointing it out to our clients that they can go there and job search. And then these are the videos that I mentioned to you. Some we created ourselves, and others we pulled from other. There's a shout out to Deb. We pulled from other resources. Okay, let me go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. We switched our 10-week job readiness programs to Zoom as well, and our professional women's group meetings are being held via Zoom. We're not yet accepting clothing donations. A couple things I want to point out. One is that we are pretty much volunteer-based. So one of the things that happened to us, as I'm sure it happened to many organizations that are volunteer-based, is most of our volunteers are retired. So they're over 60, so they're part of the most vulnerable group. So in reopening, we asked volunteers who was interested in coming back or able to come back. And we really only had three women initially, 3 or 4 women initially. So we do our suitings now only on Tuesdays and Fridays. We used to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And we're not able to accept the clothing donations as of yet. And then Donna, who's with us today, is one of those volunteers who agreed to come back. So she used to work just on Tuesdays for us as an admin assistant. She now works Tuesday and Friday, but every day from home, she checks our voicemail for us. So, and I'm sure Heidi would agree, to get through this time period without her would have been so difficult. So I'm going to ask Donna, I'm going to take a breath for a second and let Donna talk a little bit about, because reopening, I'm sure you realize there was a lot to consider in doing so. So we've implemented a number of processes to ensure the safety of our volunteers and our clients and our staff. And so I was just going to ask Donna to talk a little bit about what we've done in terms of reopening from a COVID guideline standpoint.
Okay, like Mary said, at the beginning of the pandemic, she reached out to me and I started monitoring emails, voicemails, answering. Everyone cleaned out their closet. So we were getting voicemails like mad about donations. I did have a big decision to make. Those of you that know me, those of you that don't, I am extremely high risk. I'm about as high risk as you can possibly get. So I had a big decision whether to come back. Dress for Success is doing it right. And I felt 100% comfortable going back and helping them. And I did it for two reasons. One, because they were taking the proper steps. But secondly, I consider Dress for Success to be essential. We still have, no matter the pandemic or what's going on in the world, we still have women out there who are still suffering. We still have the homeless woman. Unfortunately, we still have the battered woman. We have the woman that perhaps has taken the rough road of addiction. They still needed the help. And like Mary has said, Dress for Success does so much more than just dress them. And that made my decision quite simple. And when I came in, I found they had put plexiglass up on my desk because I do greet all of the clients that do come in. There's plexiglass. Everyone is wearing their masks. We have sanitation. We do temperature checks. Where we used to have 2 to 3 clients in the building at a time, we now only have 1. They are not the ones that are out touching the clothing. Our suitors are the ones that are taking care of that. And when clothes are tried on, they are then quarantined. We said 24 hours, but it's really kind of until, if we do it on Tuesday, they're basically quarantined until Friday when the next suiting happens and they put the clothing away. So they are one company that has really done it well. We tried donations. Donations were very difficult because we had to quarantine the clothes. We were asking volunteers to have to go downstairs to these people and get their clothing, and we just felt it was, that was jumping the gun. That was a little bit too quickly. So we have discontinued donations for now. But as we tell all the hundreds of phone calls we get every day, we are hoping to be able to start that up again. But I honestly just consider Dress for Success that essential business. And so that's why I came back, and that's why the other 3 women who have volunteered with me have come back to help.
So can I cut in real quick? I just typed it in the chat because I didn't want to forget. So you said you had 3 volunteers come back. Are you in need of volunteers right now, or are you holding off on bringing anybody in and need those 3, only those 3?
So good question. So so it was 3 personal shoppers that come back. One thing I didn't talk about was that when the women come in for the suiting, they're assigned a personal shopper. So that's not like they just go through the racks. The personal shopper helps them to pick out the perfect outfit. And so again, you know, pre-pandemic, they used to be able to walk around as well. Now we just have them sit in the dressing room and let the personal shopper do all the work. But, you know, it's a real pampering. One of our referral agencies, when she calls to make the appointment, says she's calling to make an appointment for a day at the spa. So 3 of those personal shoppers came back, and then of course Donna. And we have since brought in 1 more personal shopper. So from that perspective, we are in good shape because we have 2 per day and we can only see clients once per day. So right now we are not in need, but I'm going to talk about this more at the end, but we have a volunteer. So our only paid positions are myself as director, Heidi as operations manager, and then we have a part-time volunteer coordinator. So anybody who's interested can reach out to our organization and let us know, and then we'll put you in touch with Pat. And because, you know, if we used to, like, as I mentioned, we used to do suitings on Wednesdays. None of those volunteers were comfortable coming back, but our volume is picking up in terms of seeing women. So we may want to add Wednesday. So we may need, you know, personal shoppers and additional admin help. And when we start taking donations again, we may need people to help with what we call the inventory position, which is sorting through the donations to decide what we're going to keep. So we'll definitely, anybody interested, always, we have a form to fill out that talks about your availability and your interests, and we keep records of all of that. So when we need volunteers, we can reach out.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Thank you.
Good question.
Mary, this is Carrie Gonzalez. Could I ask a question?
Of course.
The online training videos, can you spend a minute talking about what you train them to do on these online videos?
Sure. So the ones that we created are a couple of things. One is resume writing. There's parts 1 and 2. One is your image, and one is on financial management. And then the other ones that we just gathered that were already great videos that were out there, and we just tried to pick the best of the best, cover those topics, as well as interviewing, as well as job searching. I think there's some more on image with regard to that. So anything around job readiness, and we've even included some on stress management. To expand on that a little bit, we've done 3 surveys of our clients since we closed down. And all indications are that about 60% of our clients have either had their hours reduced or lost their job. So for us, you can imagine, to work with these women, and then this happens and they're taking a step back. And I'm sorry, it upsets me because it was already, so challenging. But anyway, so in terms of what the pandemic has done, we've taken a step back. So we're really working hard to help women in more ways than ever. But my point in mentioning that was that when we asked them the types of, like webinars or training they'd be interested in, stress management still landed at the top. So, despite the fact that they can use this time, and we keep stressing, please use this time to, to get ready for when jobs become available again, and hone your job skills, your resume, your interview skills. But really, it's just, first of all, I think a mental health issue. So some of the programs that we've run via Zoom for our clients, and also some of the videos that are included are around that, stress management and mindfulness, and, just sort of managing our mental health as we prepare to re-enter the workforce. So thank you for that question, Carrie. Any other questions at this point? Okay. So demographically, about 65% of the women that we serve are single moms. Most are, women of color, Black or Hispanic. Most use some form of public assistance. And we talked about the fact that they're referred by other nonprofit agencies. So they've already been facing these challenges of homelessness, domestic violence, addiction, and they're, working to overcome that. And now they're work ready, and we're helping them to get into the workplace. So one of the stories I like to tell is that our worldwide office, we typically have once a year a conference where we bring all of the affiliates together. And I remember one of the first conferences that I attended. I've been with the organization about just over 4 years now. But one of the first ones I attended, I was asked the question, do you really need a Dress for Success in Palm Beach? So think about it. We know what the world thinks of Palm Beach, right? It's all the wealth, 33 billionaires, I think, in our county. And yet we have this discrepancy, this disparity in that we have the great wealth, but we also have great poverty. We know housing is, so expensive in our county. So the poverty rate for women in Florida is about 15%. And then for the demographic that we serve, that would be, even higher. So, that's the main reason we do. The need exists. But also we know that when you lift a woman out of poverty, you're lifting her whole family up. So you're hopefully helping to break the cycle of poverty, which is very, very difficult to do. But also the community does benefit. So if there was, someone asking on the side of, the what's in it for the greater community, to get women off of public assistance, families off of public assistance, and contributing to our economy, not only not having to pay for public assistance, which is a smaller percent of budgets than people realize, but now they're contributing to the economy as well with, having purchasing power and so on. And then ultimately what we do, everything we do really is about increasing the level of confidence for women. So, that clothing really, and this is something else I'm going to ask Donna to talk a little bit about, but, when you see the difference in women walking out of the dressing room, because we have the full length mirror outside of the dressing room, and you see the change in their demeanor, they're going to feel more confident, and therefore they're going to portray themselves better in the interview. So sometimes it seems shallow that it's just about clothing, but I hope if there's nothing else you take away from today, it's the fact that it's really not about the clothing. It's about increasing the confidence, and it's also about leveling the playing field, because whether we like it or not, we're judged by what we wear. And, some of us do that consciously, some subconsciously. But if a woman walked into an interview and was dressed inappropriately, that judgment might be made in those first few seconds in terms of her qualifications. When that's out of the way, so she's confident and she looks good, then she can really show what she can bring to the table, and she'll have the chance to, to demonstrate her competency versus having that prejudgment. So that's what I just talked about, leveling the playing field. And again, it's not about the clothes, but the increase in confidence. So, Donna, again, gets to see all of this firsthand by, greeting the clients and seeing when they come in. And then, we model the clients in front of everybody when they have their new outfit. And then she gets to see, their demeanor when they leave. So Donna, do you want to just talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's amazing. I can't explain how an hour can totally transform a woman. I've been very lucky in all my years of work and so forth. I've had a lot of mentors. I've had a lot of support. Not all women have that. So I'll often see a woman walk in, she'll barely speak to me. When I go to even take her temperature, she'll back off because she's not used to being approached. She doesn't want to be touched. I personally, and it's none of my business, I have no idea what she's been through. Sometimes they'll speak of it, most of the time not. But you can see how they're totally introverted and very hesitant to be there. I have had many say, I almost didn't come. I'm not comfortable with this. I don't want to be judged, etc., which never, ever happens at Dress for Success. No woman will ever be judged. If nothing else, Mary won't allow it. But they come in that manner. And once you put clothing on them that they are comfortable in, and we don't put them in anything that they're not comfortable in, they make the final choices. The suitors are there to assist and facilitate. They're not there to make the decisions. I hear it all the time. The woman tries on the first outfit, and I'm always running around to see it because I'm always so curious. She's like, oh my gosh, I actually look pretty. I can't tell you how many times I have heard a woman actually say that. For the first time, I actually think I look pretty. I think I can get this job. And they've walked in very sheepish, very introverted. And by the time they leave, they're laughing, they're confident, they're ready to go to that job. We had one woman, since the pandemic, she's been in several times, and she was an abused woman. And when she first came in, very quiet, very introverted, very unsure of herself. Now, she is one that really took advantage of everything Dress for Success offers. She came in for her interview, clothing. She then went on, I helped her figure out how to sign up for online classes. She took many of our classes, and she came back to us. This woman actually got a teaching job, and it lifted her out of the world that she was suffering in. And to see the transformation, she's been in our office now probably 3 times since the pandemic. And to see the transformation of this woman was absolutely amazing. And that's exactly why we do what we do, to be able to help these women with that transformation and better their lives, become self-confident. And like I said, it's amazing to see the transformation that can happen in just 1 hour. It's worth everything.
Can you see what a gem Donna is for us? Absolutely. So this goes back, Kirby, to the question that you asked in terms of how our community can help us. So if you're interested in volunteering, either individually, I want to mention the group opportunities. We do quarterly inventory in our boutique, but we're not doing that now. We're not bringing groups in now. But we also, we have 2 fundraisers during the year. One is a luncheon that we have in the spring, and by the grace of God, we had ours on March 6th. So we had ours before the events were being canceled, and we had almost 600 people at our event. So we were lucky to have that. And then in the fall, we typically have a pop-up sale. Maybe some of you have attended that. The Palm Beach Outlets gives us a store. And what we do is when we get all the clothing donations during the year, when we sort through, we keep for the boutique everything that is, work appropriate. And by the way, less and less that's not suits, but it's more separates. So skirts, pants, blouses. That's what most women want in Florida. The suits are, especially if they're lined, it's just too heavy and not comfortable. But if it's not work appropriate, but really nice, we save it up for this big sale. So that's usually our second biggest fundraiser, and it's held in October typically. We're not going to have that this year. We are going to have, and I'll share information with Kirby about this, but we are going to have the first full weekend in November, a sale in our boutique for just our couture and designer items. So we keep those in a special room under lock and key. And that will be by appointment only, allowing groups of, no more than 4 to 6 at any given time. So it won't be, as big or probably bring in as much as our pop-up sale did, but it's one way for us to bring in additional income without the big event that we typically have at the outlets. And then in terms of donations, things that we always need, and we will make exceptions for even during this time that we're not accepting clothing, are purses. We always run short on purses, especially black and brown. Makeup has to be new, so new makeup donations, again, especially mascara. We always run out of mascara because if nothing else, myself included, it's the only makeup I wear. And then shoes as well. And we need flats, we need pumps. And then, a lot of our women go into the types of jobs where they need the non-skid type of shoes. So people don't think of that when they're donating to us, but those are always needed as well. So if you have those items, or if you would like to do some sort of collection for us with your organization, we do welcome those. And so you would just talk to Heidi or Donna or myself, and we'd be happy to set up the donation time for you for those. Of course, all nonprofits need financial support. Two that I want to mention, we have an individual level called Circle of Impact, which is $1,000 or more. And we have a special area with on the wall when you walk in, where all the names of our Circle of Impact members are listed. And then we have corporate partnerships that start at $2,500 and go up. And again, if anybody's interested, I can get you the specifics around that. And we just started a business advisory council, which is a group of organizations around the county that we're just bringing to the table quarterly to just help us stay on top of, keep the pulse on the hiring, what's happening from a hiring perspective, let us know if they have jobs, keep us aware of what our clients, should be aware of, and just give us advice how we can keep improving, doing what we do better, because that's our goal, is to continuously improve to help the women. And then finally, help us spread the word. So again, if nonprofit agencies, they may or may not be registered with us, but encourage them to register to make referrals. Or if even a potential client, again, women can call us directly to set up an appointment if they need any of our services. We have coming up 2 of our job readiness programs. The one for women over 25 is going to start October 8th. And the one for women 18 to 25 is going to start October 9th. They're both going to run for 8 weeks instead of 10, meeting once a week from 9:30 till noon. So again, if you're interested, we can get you that information. All of our services, of course, are at no charge, and the women can there's a flyer, and they can register online for the program or call our office to ask more questions about it. But these are open to, again, any women who would like to just continue to hone their job readiness skills as they enter or re-enter the workforce. With that, I will open it up to more questions. Do we have any, Kirby?
We do, and thank you so much, Mary. Seriously, I was tearing up during this presentation. It is so inspirational to me, and oh my gosh. And I did not mention in the beginning, Dress for Success was a nominee in our 2020 Business Awards, and as you can, of course, see why, it is just a fantastic organization. So thank you so much for being here today and speaking to us and sharing your amazing stories that you do. So yes, we do have a few questions, and a bunch of people are saying thank you. This is such a great organization. As for the question, have you seen an expansion of your reach to new areas in Palm Beach County through your virtual programming since the pandemic began?
That's a really good question. We've had over 400 women access the site, but I don't have the demographics. I'll have to see if the person working behind the scenes for us. But to that point, technically, we serve Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, Northern Broward, and Hendry County. And the reason for that is any affiliate that sets up, there's parameters about how close the next affiliate can be, so that we're not, quote unquote, dipping into the same, pool of supporters. So the next closest to us is in Miami. Having said that, you can imagine that women in those areas cannot get to us. So, it has been in our plan, and we've tried for grants, and we've yet to be successful, but we'll keep trying, is to have a mobile unit so that we can get to the women who cannot get to us. So that is definitely in the works for us at some point, to be able to, reach out in terms of that. Now, that would be difficult right now anyway, but as far as women accessing, I hope so. But we don't know that for sure. One of the things we know for our job readiness programs that we've run twice so far is we have had women from further away in the county than we normally would because they don't have to travel. So, there's some pluses to having gone virtual. We can extend our reach. So we'll probably keep doing a number of things, including keeping our virtual career center, even when we can fully reopen.
One thing that she didn't mention, which was something I never really thought of, but we've had clients that want to come to us, and believe it or not, they can't afford the bus fare. So, we've worked out different ways to be able to enable them to get there for suitings. But I think the virtual classes have really helped a lot of people like that. It's just something you don't think of, that a woman cannot figure out a way to even get to us.
Wow. And that is, I guess, part of the beauty of the pandemic and what has come out is this virtual world that we have all learned. At least in my eyes, I've learned so much with this virtual stuff that we have reached so many new people, and that it's helping you guys. That's awesome. I do want to invite anybody to turn on their mic and ask a question, or if you would like, type it in the chat. I don't see that we have any right now.
Comment, Kirby.
Okay.
Great job, Mary, Donna. Thank you for the shout out. I couldn't be more pleased to do, the webinars that were recorded and offered up on your website now for the women that you help. Happy to do more of them in the future, but I was making some notes here. I belong to a couple of different professional women's groups and can easily make an appeal for black and brown purses. I will go to my closet tonight. But I just thought there's so many of us that are into networking like I am. I'm sure a lot of the people that are on this call could probably do the same thing. Is there a drop-off point, or should I just make arrangements when I get these things together to donate?
Yes, so the drop-off would be at our boutique in, Heidi was kind enough to put that in the chat box. It's on Congress Avenue in Palm Springs between 10th and Forest Hill.
Okay.
And I live in Jupiter, so I have had, women who are more North County just either meet me somewhere central or drop things off to my home. So we're always willing to make accommodations to get this stuff. Heidi's south in Del Rey, so we can, usually if we need to work out, if it's not convenient for someone to come to our boutique, we can work out a place to meet.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I'm Eve Lyon. I'm with the Lord's Place, and we are so grateful for our partnership with Dress for Success. They are amazing. At times, they even share their overage with us of items that are not maybe always work appropriate. And I had no idea that you had needs. So I just want to put out there that if you are in need of shoes or handbags, please let us know, because as we're processing our donations, I'd be thrilled to be able to share back with you.
Thanks, Eve. Good to see you.
Yeah, just reach out to me.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. So that's an amazing symbiotic relationship with the Lord's Place, who makes referrals to us. But as Eve mentioned, we donate anything. We don't keep back to the Lord's Place, and they come and pick it up. But if they can't use it, they can save it up and sell it to a recycler. So what we tell people who donate is you can be confident that everything you donate is going to benefit a local nonprofit in some way, and we explain that process to them. And then we typically we have a bi-monthly lunch meeting in our boutique for agencies to come and learn, see firsthand what we do. And we use Joshua Catering to provide the catering for those lunches. So, you know, we love to have the collaboration and symbiotic relationship with our referral partners.
Perfect. That's awesome. I love these partnerships that we have within the chamber here. Joan, I see that you unmuted yourself. Did you have a question?
No.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
muted.
All right. Let's see. It looks like we have some comments. Let me read through it real quick. It says, Mary, you and your team are amazing. Thank you for such an informative event. We have some contacts, so of a CPA, please keep them in mind if you need anything. Again, if we don't have any further questions, let's get into the self-introductions because I want to make sure that we have time for those. Let me pull down my list right here. Joan, since you're already unmuted, would you like to start us off?
Sure. This is a wonderful presentation, and I'd be sure to go through my closet and see what I can give. I am Joan Quittner with Legal Shield and ID Shield. We offer very affordable legal representation to businesses and individuals and identity theft protection. Very important, I mentioned the other day, please be aware of a puppy scam. It's very big now, a puppy scam. So don't buy any puppies online or anything like that. I have been an ambassador for 11 years with the Chamber. And I'm very happy to help out any way I can with any kind of legal advice or give you any kind of flyers on COVID-19 that Legal Shield has, so I can give that so women know if they're going back to work what they can and can't do. Joan Quittner, Legal Shield, ID Shield. Thank you.
Thanks, Joan. Since Heidi works with Mary, I will go to Heidi next.
Hey. Okay, so my name is Heidi Matheny. I'm the operations manager for the boutique. I've been there a little over a year now. I'm grateful, and you had mentioned you were tearing up as Mary was speaking, you know, and Donna was speaking about the women coming in with their head low, you know, and then by the time they come out, they're brimming with confidence. And for me and my viewpoint of the organization, that is something that doesn't get enough recognition, that we offer a woman an opportunity to get self-esteem and confidence. And, you know, it touches my heart every time I see it or hear it, you know, and right. So anybody that's interested in doing donations, you can reach out to me at any point in time. I'll put my email in the chat box and we can set up an appointment. Again, as Mary had mentioned, if you're in a different part of the county, we can work around that as well. And yes, thank you. Thank you for having me today. And thank you, Mary and Donna, for a wonderful presentation.
Thanks, Heidi. Victoria, I see that you have your hand raised.
Hi, thanks, Kirby. My name is Victoria Peroso. I'm the broker owner of Victoria's Luxury Estates. And let me leave this other meeting on my phone so I don't hear an echo. But I just wanted to thank Mary and all the girls and her team. Just amazing, amazing women. And I literally got teary-eyed because of the fact that I'm a realtor. You know, I have a business. And my business sometimes is upside down, like as with COVID, it is right now. But I have to tell you, in my downtime, when I had a really tough time, I went to see Mary. And Mary gave me some beautiful, beautiful dresses. And the courteous and the courtesy, you know, I mean, the respect, I mean, everything that these women do there is just amazing. They made me feel so wonderful, even though I felt like horrible, you know? And I just wanted to thank you again, Mary, to you and to your team. You're just amazing people and your organization is amazing. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And as far as Joan, the puppy thing, that actually happened to me. I was trying to buy a puppy online. And yeah, and somebody took the money, but I did end up getting a puppy, and I'm going to show you. and here's my little one. So I did get a puppy, and I'm just so grateful though, Mary, and I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there because you're just amazing. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Victoria.
Well, here comes the waterworks again. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Victoria. Let me go back down. Chelsea, and oh, it's Deborah. I'm sorry. Hold on, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, I'm Debbie Nyer.
Yeah.
I'm using my daughter's computer.
Yeah.
So I ran away for the day. Mary, I just want to thank you and the other ladies. Dress for Success speaks to me on so many levels that I actually did attend the luncheon right before COVID started. Last minute, well, I'm newer to the area. I just wanted to be there and learn more, and it was wonderful. I am a nonprofit accountant. My business is DLG Accounting and Advisory Services, and I have specialized in nonprofits for over 30 years and forensic accounting. And if I can, I will contact you separately, but if I can offer my services, maybe training QuickBooks for some women that want to get out and do something, I would love to do that. And thank you. Keep up the great work.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. We do have a question in the chat box. I will sneak that one in here real quick. Is there a distribution list we can be a part of to stay updated on communications?
Yes, so if you visit our website, palmbeaches.dressforsuccess.org, you can sign up for our newsletter, and then you'll be part of all of our communications. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, back to the self-introductions. I thought that was pretty important, so I wanted to get that in there. Christina.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there were any other Christinas on. Hi, my name is Christina Grenga. Mary and the team from Dress for Success. I mean, I emulate everything else that others have said. I think it's a fantastic organization. My beginnings of my career, I remember as a young person, the most important part was going and getting that perfect outfit when I couldn't afford anything. But I needed to have that perfect outfit for, my first interviews, and it's really important. And I'm starting to get emotional. It's amazing, but it's so important to feel good about yourself. So the work that you do is fantastic. My business is Schooley Mitchell. We are cost reduction consultants. We provide independent, objective reviews for businesses to help them save money on fixed costs. So that's what my business does. Thanks for all you do, and I look forward to helping out. I made some notes, and I'd love to be helpful on the Business Advisory Council, as well as donations and spreading the word. I mean, I work with businesses all across South Florida. Thank you.
Christina, could you put your information in the chat box, your phone number, email address? This is Lori Albert.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Christina. Let me go down. Danielle. Oh, you are muted. Hold on. Now try it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name's Danielle Spagnola. I'm the new sales manager at the Home 2 Suites over in West Palm Beach by the airport. And your presentation was truly amazing, Mary. That's amazing work that you all do there. And if you ever have need for people, we are hiring. We do front desk as well as housekeeping, and hospitality is kind of great because you can really grow your career pretty quickly, and most people don't realize that. So if you ever have women that are looking for a job, please send them my way. I'd be happy to, try and find a good fit for them. If not at our hotel, maybe another one in the area.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Debbie.
Hi, everybody. This is such a perfect example of women lifting women. I love it. I love it. There's so many things that can come out of this 1-hour presentation. So Great job, Mary and Donna. Most of you know me. I'm Debbie Weems, founder of DW Consulting Solutions. We celebrated our 9th year in June of helping people, individuals and corporations, to use LinkedIn more effectively for branding and marketing. So they're going through lots of changes right now. So we're scrambling to keep all of our proprietary reference documents updated so they make sense. There's never a dull moment. You know, it's just like any other social media platform. But we do enjoy helping people to work it into their daily plans so that they can get more visibility for themselves and their businesses. Time is money. We'll save you both. My information's in the chat box. I did make a few names noted here that I don't think I'm connected to yet. So I will be inviting those of you pretty soon. Have a great day.
Thanks, Debbie. Emily.
Hi. Yeah, it was a great program, and I've heard about the program for years, but really have not gotten involved in it. And now I understand it much better. So maybe I can also, like Debbie's part of a lot of women's group, I am too, and share it and do some group things. I think it'd be great. I'm a landscape architect and planner at 2GHO, Gentile Glass, Holloway, O'Mahony. So steward of the land. So this is, but I do a lot of things, a lot of different things supporting women, do a lot of mentoring. So once again, it's great to see a lot of women supporting women and helping build us all up. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Eve.
Hi, so again, kudos to Dress for Success, an amazing organization, and today was very informative. I actually learned some things that I didn't know before, so I will share that with our team at the Lord's Place. I oversee social enterprises at the Lord's Place. For those that are not familiar with the Lord's Place, our mission is to break the cycle of homelessness, and so as an agency, we have housing throughout the county and provide employment services and counseling and case management. But my end of it are businesses. So I oversee Joshua Catering and Joshua Thrift Stores. And in both businesses, we earn revenue to come back and support the organization. But more importantly, we provide on-the-job training. So we have clients who are enrolled in our programs, stay with us up to 9 months, and learn work skills either in retail or in culinary arts. And then when they graduate, we help them find jobs in the community. So of course, right now, times are tough for us. There is not very much special event or corporate catering going on, but we do still have some contract work. So we still have students enrolled in our programs in the kitchen. And our thrift stores are open. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow we are having something we're starting every Friday afternoon at our 750 South Military Trail location. It's called Furnishing Fridays, and it's from 12 to 4, and everything is very, very inexpensive, flat rate pricing, like a couch for $100. So if anybody is shopping around for items for your home in terms of furnishings, stop by and see us at 750 South Military Trail or go to our website for our other locations. Thank you. And I have to run. I'm in a training for 4 hours this afternoon. So it was great to see everybody, but I have to log on.
Thanks for joining today, Eve.
Okay, bye.
I'm not sure who it is, but they're labeled Flagler Museum. Give them a second, see if they'll unmute. Oh,
hey guys, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hi, it's Allison Goff. I'm the Member and Visitor Services Director at the museum. Thank you so much for putting this together, Kirby and the Chamber, and also to Mary and all of her team, Heidi and everybody that I know over there. We logged on to support Dress for Success today. They are good friends of ours, and we've been fortunate to host a few collection drives for them through our Flagler Spirit initiative. That's an opportunity for us as a historic house museum to reach out and literally and figuratively open our gates to the public and stretch ourselves to help organizations that are suiting vital needs in our community. Where we don't, in terms of our business here, we are interested in connecting with those organizations that are serving that need. and where we can help as a staff or where we can invite our public to join us in supporting those organizations, we do our best. So thank you so much for hosting today. It's been lovely to hear from everyone. And like Debbie mentioned, to make those connections with people who maybe aren't on our network yet. That's the benefit of these types of afternoon meetings. So thanks for putting it together.
Thank you for joining. Casey.
Hey everyone, good to see you all. It's my first time meeting many of you. I work as the Donor Relations Officer at the Community Foundation for Palm Beach and Martin counties. If you don't know a little bit about community foundations, there's about 700 across the US. And really our goal is to serve as a leading catalyst in building vibrant communities through philanthropy. So we work with connecting donors to great organizations like Dress for Success. So Mary and Heidi and Eve and the Flagler Museum, thank you guys so much for all that you do for our community. We're proud to be a facilitator for grants to get to organizations like Dress for Success and other nonprofits. I'm going to share a link for a Take 60 call that we host every month for our nonprofit for impact organizations that are doing the work in our community. It's really just an opportunity for you guys to network, talk with each other, vent, and really kind of bounce ideas off of one another based on our local community. And Donna, thank you for your volunteer time as well. It definitely makes a big impact for those women who get to meet you and interact with you. So thank you guys for all that you do. It's great to join you, and I look forward to seeing many more calls in the future.
Thanks, Casey. Katie.
Hi everyone, this is my first time here, so it's great to connect with all of you. I see a few familiar faces. I actually just I used to be in the food world doing marketing for restaurants, and now I am managing eSuites, which is a new office space, bringing co-working. We have conference rooms, we have classrooms set up, virtual mailboxes. So it's great to be here and connect and just see some new faces. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Lori.
Good afternoon, everyone. I also see some familiar faces. It's nice to, even though this is kind of strange, I miss being out and about and physically seeing people, but hopefully that's, I think things are getting better, so we have to stay optimistic. And before I start in terms of what I do, Mary, it's great to see you again. I remember when we were, when I was very active in my younger days at the Chamber of Commerce, and I was on the board when you were there, and you've done a great job, you and your staff over there. So congratulations for all your hard work and efforts, and you've definitely made a positive impact on so many women's lives. So great job, great job. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about myself, and maybe you can keep me in mind and my CPA firm just in case you know anyone that could benefit. But I am a director at Devine, Blaylock, Martin, Solari. We're the oldest CPA firm in the state. We have about 25 CPAs, and we help businesses and individuals with their tax preparation and tax planning needs. And we also work with a lot of nonprofits doing their tax audit and 990 work. So if you know of anyone, and obviously right now we're in tax extension deadlines, the business tax extension is September 15th. The individual is October 15th. If you know of anyone that's dragging their feet and needs to get it done, please let me know. Or if you know of someone that ever wants a valuable second opinion, some people outgrow their CPA, or they just need fresh creative tax strategy ideas and tax planning, please keep me in mind as a resource. My contact information is over in the chat box, and everyone stay well and optimistic.
Thanks, Lori. And I know we're over time, but we only have 2 more people, so if you can just hang on with me for a few more minutes. Maxwell.
Hi, this is Max, and Carrie's here with me too from AMG Insurance. I'm just going to start and say this is awesome. We're so proud to be working with you guys, and then Carrie's got some more specific things she's going to talk about.
We're just scratching the surface. I met Mary 4 years ago, and I told Mary I'm already spent on other efforts with other charities. And I told her my plate was going to be clean someday, and here we are, and I'm now taking a role. We have an internship program with local colleges. We're approved with over a dozen colleges for credit, and we pay the interns very generously to come and learn with us. Our internship program is 150 hours. We expanded it in another state for women who were coming into the workforce for the first time. I shared that story with Mary and the program we put together for that scenario, and we are now offering it piggybacking off of the program that Dress for Success is offering. So they come and they learn some basic skills from the Dress for Success program. Then we choose one of the candidates. Unfortunately, we can only take one at a time, but we committed to take one every time there's one available. And we're going to put them through an 8-week training program with us where we're going to teach them every online skill possible, where they have a list of tangible skills to add to their resume. And they also have introductions to other businesses for jobs. They will have a valid, solid reference for the job. We will tweak their resume a little more than Dress for Success with some tangible, valid things we've added to it. And they're going to come and work in a real office environment with us in a very modern online platform. We do not use paper. So hopefully we can inspire some of the other businesses on this call to do the same thing. Because my ultimate vision, which I haven't had time to share with Mary yet, is to encourage other businesses to duplicate what we've created in a formal way. So the candidates that we just turned away, we turned them away and told them, look, you're a great fit, you have great skills, we would love to work with you, but right now we just feel like there's one candidate we can help the most. So the ones that we actually turned away, we turned them away with job leads and referrals to other businesses. And of course, our network in that area needs to grow because Mary's going to continue to send us people who are looking for jobs. So we have a long list of things that we can add to the online training videos. I encourage, obviously, all of our staff of both genders. I do not discriminate with volunteer work. And I encourage all of them to donate volunteer time even while they're on the clock. So we're in business to make money and we're in business to give back. And hopefully, you know, some of you can mirror that in your own businesses.
All right. Thanks, y'all. And last but not least, Sue. Oh, Sue, you're muted. Hold on.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I was just about ready to do that. Thanks, last but not least. I got this bright sun coming in on my skylight. I feel like a ghost. Thank you, Mary and Donna and Kirby. It was wonderful. I have had the pleasure to know Mary, and I've been to the boutique, and also the pop-up shopping was awesome. So I'm a little sorry that we're not being able to do that this fall, but I'll definitely be looking forward to it as soon as it comes back. My name is Sue from Sue Jones Promotions. I do promotional products and custom apparel. So when people have networking that they're doing, or we get back to the trade shows, I'm actually doing a lot of employee incentive programs right now. I'm here for your promotional products. So if you need something new, just call Sue.
All right. Thank you, Sue. And thank you so much, Mary and Donna and Heidi and every one of you for joining us today. Again, this was very inspirational. I learned a ton today, and again, just brought me to tears and gave me goosebumps throughout the entire presentation. So thank you for being here today.
So much for getting us.
Well, and I'm sure we will have you back, hopefully at an in-person meeting, because this is worth another one.
Kirby, are you going to send out the chat box? Because we're not able to save it.
I will see what I can do. So yes, I will.
Thank you.
Our next Women in Business meeting will be October 8th from 12 to 1, and I hope to see you guys there. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you again. Bye, everybody.